Yeah, I'm always counting ounce at the ounce, pouring like a fountain. Bounce, I run until I found a town that can't bend. Made a plan, then I bring the motherfucking bands in. Counting, my total amount is a mountain. Ounces, pouring out ounces and ounces. Bouncing from county to township. Going way out of my way to make sure my amount flip. I'm counting, my total amount is a mountain. Ounces, pouring out ounces and ounces. Bouncing from county to township. Going way out of my way to make sure my amount flip.
I'm Philly in New York doing this collab for the first episode of the Cut to the Chat podcast. And so with that, I'm gonna let Yeremy a little bit tell his story about him being not from here. Both of them not being from here. Both speaking a different language as their first language, coming from a whole different perspective than I'm used to. And now we graduates, we a success story. And even for anybody that didn't finish school, you know what I'm saying, we still a success story. We still here, we still alive, we still making it up. You know what I'm saying? You want to start off from there, just telling people who you are.
Of course. So like he has said, I was born in Honduras.
Hold on. Give him a 20-second Spanish tip. Go ahead.
Yo.
20 seconds in Spanish.
So yo le voy a decir un poquito. So yo nací en Honduras, ¿verdad? Entonces yo vine a este país con nada. Y ahora yo me gradué, yo tengo mi propio carro, yo tengo mi propio apartamento. Y si tú quieres venir, tú puedes venir. Si tú quieres, mami. But nah, like he was saying, born in Honduras, you come to New York, basically the USA, everybody think everything is easy. You're supposed to come out here, you're supposed to make the success story for your family, but it ain't that easy, So as soon as we get here, we don't know any English.
Yauza, you jump in too.
Yeah, let me know whenever you want to jump in. Don't be shy over there, but
alright, continue, bro.
Yeah, we come here with Spanish as our first language. We come here, we get bullied for not knowing English, not being like regular like everybody else or the kids, but that's just a little bit of the struggles, that's not even what really shapes you. That's not even like the success story that we really want to talk about today.
Right.
But as we go on, especially like in New York, man, god damn, you get bullied for anything and everything, man. If your shoes is cooked or you getting cut, bro,
right,
or that day you was getting flamed. Now, especially like in elementary school, I can still remember the second grade, third grade. My brother was bullied more than me, especially because his English was more off than mine, and I'm sure he could definitely like tap on into that.
Like my brother was saying, yeah, man, like growing up in New York, born in Honduras, we came here with nothing. It was a grind, man. Especially we moved into the hood, like so. We came from one hood to another hood, but just different countries. So, but we here today, man, and I'm grateful for that. Like we still every day grinding, and honestly, like if we continue to do this, then anybody can do this. Like we just gotta continue to work.
Yeah, that's like my thing too with like success. Like it doesn't mean just as one person do it. They do it a certain way, they do it at a certain age. That don't mean you can do it.
There's no template.
Yeah,
there's no written.
Yeah.
There's no written like agenda for that. Like you have to get this done by this age. You gotta get this done by this age.
It's like parenting. There's no right way to parent.
Right.
You just gotta find the best way to love your kid and like show them the ropes of how they can achieve their dreams.
Yeah, what works for you doesn't mean that's gonna work for everybody else, and that definitely ties into like hate in between. Like people, like your own people, like especially like right now, there's like a lot of like white on black hate, like black on black hate. It's like that's always been a thing, but it's more common now, especially if you can see it in the news. Like they killing us, bro.
They killing us, and then we killing ourselves, and tying back into like what Yauza was saying, it's just about like what everybody was saying for real about the success, and there's not being a template for success. There's a vanity goal, and that's one thing I want to touch on, a vanity goal. And anytime when we saying vanity, is that it's hanging there. There's no value to it, it's just hanging there. So when you say, I want that car by 30, that's why someone is always going to say back to you, why can't you get that car by next year? You know what I'm saying? It's that number that you're trying to add to it is going to make you feel more depressed when you don't get there. Everybody was sitting there like, I want a car by 21. I'm 22 right now. How old are you?
21.
Yeah, how old are you?
23.
So we already know it's been goals that we've talked about, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have this by X amount of time, and it's just like we setting that vanity goal that when we don't reach it, it's like, damn.
It's the thing too. Like our society, we so so into like material things. Like, but if we really think about it, like, there's a new iPhone coming out every single year.
Right.
We don't want to keep this iPhone.
Right.
Cause we know, like you said, why are you gonna wait till you're 30 to get this car when you can just get it? Like, you can grind to get it next year.
Get it done.
Right.
Get it done.
Like,
Same thing with the iPhones, bro. Every year you're gonna want that new iPhone. You're not gonna want to keep that iPhone.
so it's like my question, especially to people that's not getting done. Like, what is it? What's stopping you? Like, what is it that you're not doing today? What is it that you're not doing tomorrow? Why are you not getting that job that you say, you know what, that's the job that I want to get? What is stopping you from sending in that resume? What is stopping you from getting that job that you need in order to land like certain things? Like, especially if you're somebody that's very like materialistic, and I'm not even gonna lie, I'm very materialistic. Like, I can admit that. Like, yo, I like to have a nice car, I like to have a nice watch, I like to have a nice ring, chain, this and that. Because that just shows off like what everything I've been working
It's like
for.
an accomplishment type.
It's an accomplishment. It's not even to like be cocky, but it's like, if I can do it, like I said, why can't everybody else win with me?
Right.
You know?
It's not even just about that too, bro. Like, you gotta understand that we grew up in the hood. Anthony grew up in the hood.
Right. I'm telling you right now too. Everybody, first of all, if you tuning in, you know me some way, shape, or form. And if you don't know me, I'm Ant the Barber. I'm Deuce the Barber. You already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be seeing more of my clients more than me. But we got a lot of new stuff in the works. And me being from the hood, you may look at me and be like, bro, he's the nicest man. He know everybody. He's involved in different stuff. This kid cannot be from the hood. There's been so many people that have come around where I live and been scared to death and just been sitting there like, yo, what's up with them? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different ballgame. So when we say success has no real template, no real look to it, failure doesn't have a look either. You know what I'm saying? Because everyone's depiction of what it means to fail is different. I may win $1 million, but if I get 999,000, I failed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, I mean, going off that too, like, you gotta understand that if growing up in the hood, as we say, the OGs, like the big drug dealers in our hood, they would tell you like, yo, fuck you playing ball for, fuck you doing this for. You know, like, not all of them is gonna motivate you to like stay in school.
Right.
Another thing is like, you can't live off other people's happiness. Like, you really gotta do shit for yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta be yourself.
Yeah, like, I definitely want to talk about how we measure like our own success by somebody else's measure. Like, just because I got my own thing, like I got my own crib, me and my brother moved out of our own, like, we don't live with our parents anymore, we moving out in Jersey. Guess what? That doesn't mean that next year you can't do it. That doesn't mean that you got to get it done by next year. That doesn't mean that. My thing is, what are you doing now in order to work towards that goal? Like, what are the steps you're taking in order to make that happen? Like, everybody talk about, yeah, I'm gonna move out on my own, I'm gonna get my own car, and it's a lot of people. And yo, if Chico, if you watching this, you know what I'm talking about. A lot of people talking about, you know what? If the quarantine wasn't here, I would have had my license, I would have had my car. Stop it. What were you doing before that?
Right.
Absolutely nothing. Like, what were you doing, you know? And it's like, that's on a daily basis. Like, get up and grind. Like,
Right.
stop talking about what you're going to do.
Can we touch on it? I just want to touch on that for a quick second because you transition perfectly into something that I feel like we all can talk about, which is this pandemic, but not from the negative sense, but from the sense of what people got to realize is, and this goes into my clothing brand, the All-Star Movement, to stay moving. Just because socially we're stagnant, socially we can't move, doesn't mean that internally we can't move.
It's a fact.
Physically we can't move. You can still work out. You can still get yourself financially ready for what's to come because everything is going to open up eventually. That's the reality that we face. Everything's going to open up eventually. So him speaking about us finding a space to find that goal and keep pushing towards that goal is key because the reality is sometimes in life you are going to be left in a state where you may feel stuck and it's up to you. It's nobody else's job to get you out of the situation.
Right.
I think you also gotta be careful with that too, cause like being home, being quarantined, like you become, your discipline go away. Like, you become lazy. You eating shit you're not supposed to be eating.
Like you become real complacent.
Yeah, like you get comfortable, and that's the thing. Like, even being home, like, you gotta find ways to like not feel comfortable. Like,
right.
what can I do to move forward?
And that's the thing, like especially if you're like a college student, your knowledge it expands like beyond college, like just beyond what they teach you in school. Like you smarter than that. Like what is it that you actually want to do? Like, yeah, I'm majored in business management. Do I want to manage somebody else's business for the rest of my life? Fuck no. Like, you know, and I had this one class that taught me about like business plans, and you were in that class. We did our own business plans for like our own like ideas. Like why isn't it that, especially with this quarantine, if you could remind me, how long have we been like quarantined now?
It's been like what, like 2.5 months?
2.5 months. Guess what? That's more than enough time to get like your own business plan done.
How long did it take us to do that whole business plan?
Yo.
We was doing it. Two and a half to 3 months. So we talking about the same timeline. The same timeline that it took for us to be sitting here stuck. People feel stuck. We created a full, I'm talking about down to the finances, down to everything. And my business plan was a barbershop. I had to find like 50 different chairs, different type of, you know what I'm saying, everything. In 2.5 months, the same amount of time that everybody is sitting here saying they feel stuck. So it's all about the quality. We worry too much about the quantity of situations. It's about the quality. And
that's the thing.
And tying into your point too about the whole why people are afraid to do it, why people don't take those steps. It's that whole feeling of being uncomfortable. Yeah. Nobody is comfortable with being uncomfortable. And once you get in that state where, I just heard earlier on, I think it was Joe Rogan's podcast. He was like, what's happiness? Happiness is when you take expectation out of reality. When you just live. It's just like, bro, I'm walking down the street. I'm not worried about nothing because I'm just walking. There's no expectation in what I'm doing, so I can just move peacefully.
I think it's not just about feeling uncomfortable. I think it's just like, it's that feeling like when you just like, damn, I don't want to feel.
Yeah. Because you're not worried about the emotion.
Worry about, like, other people going to be like, yeah, I told you.
Told you so, yep.
But you gotta feel to succeed. Like, you can't
walk around like dumb all the time.
And that's the thing, like with success too. Like, who gets to success without failing? And especially when you come to like a point where you feel like you're successful. And let me tell you now, that's a different measurement for everybody. I can tell y'all right now, with everything that I got, I don't feel successful at all. Right. My mother's still working. My stepfather's still working. My brothers, like, especially when they go to college, like, I want them to have enough money. I want them to have a car. I want them to get a car earlier than I did. Right. You know, I want them to get to a point where they don't got to worry about, yo, when is my next meal coming? Like, yo, I got to worry about my mom to send me some money, this and that. And it's like, yo, like, I didn't have that always where I could just be like, you know what, I'm going to get up today. What am I going to eat? There was time, and Yauza, you could definitely tag on in this, like, when you were, because you were in college before me, like, there was those nights where you was like, yo, what the fuck am I going to eat? And now we have, like, you know, very lovable parents that would send us money whenever we need it. You don't really want to sit there and ask, like, your parents every single time, like, yo, mom, can you send me this $20? Can you send me this and that? Because, like, bro, you know what poverty is. Like, we poor. Like, you know, you don't really want to sit there and ask your mom every single time, like, yo, can you send me some money? Because you're not going nowhere with that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and like, especially, like, I want to tell everybody here, like, with success, bro, don't measure your success by anybody else's standards. What by like everybody else is doing, like, at the same age as you. That don't mean nothing. You know?
First of all, how can, if Yeremy's telling me right now, bro, I'm about to create $1 billion business, I want to do it, X, Y, and Z, right? Why would I bring my worries onto his dreams? And that's the issue that a lot of people have. They want to limit what you can do because they're limiting themselves. And I feel like that's when we talk about the hate that our people have for each other that we're seeing on display, that is what I think it boils down to. That dislike or that discomfort comes from the fact that a lot of the limitations that people have on themselves gets augmented and put on to other people. So it's like, if I can't see, I'm like this, because people see it more when it comes to arts. If I have a kid or I know somebody that's big into the whole arts, dancing, drawing, painting, anything, and they say, I want to become a world famous artist, making millions doing art. If in my mind I can't see myself doing it, my natural instinct is to downplay whatever they're doing. But why though? We've seen Picasso's, we've seen athletes, we've seen star dancers make it mad far. We see them all the time trying to do the moves and everything, and it's just it's just like, yo, like as soon as we get someone that's close to us trying to do those exact same things that's outside the box,
We're gonna downplay it.
we're gonna downplay
We're
it.
gonna downplay because we can't do it. And that's the thing too, like especially like when it comes to success, that shit has a lot to do like with your mentality, especially like where you come from, like Yauza, I told you, like you'll have your own OGs tell you like, yo, fuck is you playing ball for? You're gonna be here for the rest of your life. Now once you start believing that what people are telling you around you, like, yo, you ain't going nowhere, that's the minute you're gonna start to fail.
Right.
You gotta always keep like that mindset, like, yo, I'm not gonna fail, I'm not gonna be like the rest of you. And by the rest of you, I don't mean like, yo, you gotta downplay everybody else around you just because you're doing bigger things. It's just like, I wanna be my own person. I wanna be better for, you know, my family. Like once you really analyze like that environment that you lived in, you're like, yo, why would I put my kids to the same thing that I've been through? And I could just move out. I could do things right, like with my life, with my generation, and my kids, they don't gotta go through that.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So, like, you know, I definitely want to tell people, like, yo, don't really sit there and listen to what people gotta say. Like, and I know that's easier, like, said than done. Like, yo, like, a lot of people's gonna tell you, you ain't shit, you ain't gonna do this. Like, you too, like, fat to do this. Like, you too skinny to do this. Like,
They're trying to add a limitation to you.
yeah, like, fuck that. Like, you ain't to this or to that. Like, don't let them basically put you in a box where you feel like you can't do what you wanted to do. Like, there's no right or wrong, especially in reaching your goals. Like, there's no set agenda, there's no set amount of steps that you got to take in order to reach with, like, your whole goal, like, or who you want to be. Like, fuck that. You know what I mean? That ass. But nah, like, one big thing I definitely want to talk about is, and this is definitely off topic, is like, yo, how they killing us black people right now? Yo, they killing us like animals out here, man. Like, and all these videos, like, racism is more, I'm not gonna say more alive now, but it's just more visible now, where we have like the age of technology where everything is like being recorded, everything is being put on social media, and like all the black men, especially now that is being killed and put on camera, being put on the news, like, that just shows that we are now like starting to fight back, like, as a group.
Right.
And I feel like more can be done if we were just to stick together as a black community, as minorities and everything like that. We support each other, especially with the help of white people. All them white people that be listening to all of our rap music. And I'm, you could attest to that. You've seen a couple of them white dudes in Albright College blasting that rap music that you ain't never heard of. Like,
A couple of them almost tried to slip the N-word in there a couple times.
Yo.
I had to look at them sideways real quick. You got the college party. You just sitting there, you saying, you hear that nigga one time, you hear that word nigga one time, you looking at everybody in the room like, hold up.
yo.
There's about 60% of y'all in here.
White, you know what I mean? And one song that was big on there, and if you was a freshman / sophomore in Albright College, you could definitely back this up. When they was playing Gold Digger by Kanye West,
Okay.
now I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke nigga. Huh? You would see a lot of, if you turn that music off exactly at that one spot, you would see a lot of white people saying nigga.
Being quiet.
But you know, now that they killing us, you know, they real quiet. And I know Yauza, you had said like, yo, what are they gonna say? But damn, like, yo, y'all love our culture so much, y'all love being us so much behind, you know, the actual like cameras. Now that they killing us right in front of your face, like, what are you gonna do? You're supposed to be an ally. Where y'all at?
I just feel like as black people, we can't focus on being angry at white people. Like, you know, like, your white friend can't protect you. You know, like, a police officer gonna pull you over, your white friend right there, but like, ain't shit your white friend can do for you. Or police officer already got his mind made up that he gonna kill you.
Right.
So I just feel like a lot of people talk about being woke, or they talk about stay woke.
What does that mean?
Like, and I feel like a lot of African American people is not woke, and they don't stay woke.
Like, what
Like,
does that mean?
They didn't just start killing us. Like, this been going on for years.
Like, we got the formula to change the system.
Yeah, like,
Which, like, and this is a disclaimer for anybody that is pro-black, that is an activist. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate all the support. We appreciate everyone that's stepping outside of that box of being quiet and actually doing something. And everything that's going on in Minnesota, you know what I'm saying, is that cry out of anger. from people just being tired. But like Yeremy was touching on before, is one of those things where I asked the question of, we're able to see now through social media, through everything that's going on, what they're doing to us. Can you imagine? And we spoke about this earlier, but I just want to re-echo it. Can you imagine the things that were unseen? And I just think about that because I just recently took a African American Studies course, learning the stories about certain stuff that was going on. And I want to echo this story to y'all, and shout out to Dr. Fletcher at Albright for even giving me the opportunity to take her class to even talk about this. But bro, there was a dude got falsely accused of being around some white woman. They went into a jail. All these white people in this area went into a jail, beat him up, right? Sliced him up. I'm not talking about with no tight butcher knife where it's gonna be a clean slice. I'm talking about like they was poking at him, stabbing him and everything, stabbing him up for being falsely accused of touching this white woman. Then they dragged him out of the jail, beat him up after he's already sliced. They beat him up. Then they skinned him. After skinning him, they hung him. After hanging him, they burnt him. After burning him, they took pieces of his skin as trophies. We talking about some barbarian type,
Yeah, that's
like
it's not human.
bone collecting type, like what, like
It's not human, bro.
yo.
And my thing is too, like, yeah, they now these white cops, they so afraid of us, this and that, bro. How many times have you seen these white like killings and everything, like these massacres? Guess what? They took the one dude that had I forgot what this nigga's name was, but this one white dude, he went into, I think it was the one that went into the church and killed like all these black people, right?
Bro, they took him to get something.
They took him to get something to eat. Oh, y'all wasn't afraid then.
He said, "Yeah, I'm hungry. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Before y'all take me in, I'm gonna just go get something to eat."
And that alone lets us know that the skin color, like the color of the skin is just so powerful. They just so afraid of us because they know what we can do.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And like with that alone, like yo, we gotta start fighting with each other, like together,
Right.
and not against each other. I apologize for saying that, but I mean we gotta fight. We gotta start fighting with each other, towards a common goal. And I'm not saying white people, is like the common like who we gotta kill and this and that, but we gotta start having our own things. We gotta start taking care of each other. We gotta start buying back into our own business, and that's something that you touched on. Like, yo, we gotta start investing in our own companies. We have all these like black celebrities that's big and this and that, and where they live in?
White people.
Hollywood, LA, and this and that. Yeah, they grew up here, but
Right.
once they made it out, they didn't come back.
No, and that's something that I touched on earlier. Is what he's talking about is the power of, and this is something that I had to think about myself. The power of building the success, quote unquote, for our people, because we talked about earlier in a way, why are people so angry? Why is there a need to feel like if I do bring this black successful business in here, blacks are going to attack me? And what I was explaining my opinion to them about that was the fact that there's that hate and dislike because as a people we always feel like we're inferior, and that inferior feeling comes from the fact that those that do make it out of our hoods never really come back. Like, and granted, the environment that's created around here makes it unsafe to come back, and that's understandable. But in the same retrospect, it's like you got a lot of black celebrities that are from Philly, and y'all know who they are, but it's just like that story of just never seeing them in direct light of the city is powerful, because there's too many people in this city, too many young black men and women that never really feel like they connect on a personal level to any other famous black people that are out there because they're not here. Yeah, you have a shared story that shows me that you came from this environment and you can make it through. So you're giving me hope that it can happen. But as a people, and this is another issue that I said, we always withhold a lot of the secrets, a lot of the advice, a lot of the key points that need to be echoed to our people. And we keep it from our people.
Yeah, and I definitely want to talk about that. It's like, yo, why is it because one person makes it out, especially like in the black community, now the next man can't make it out? You made it out now, you want to be like, you know what, I made it out. I don't want nobody else to make it out from my hood. Like, I don't want to give everybody else the secret. I don't want to give anybody else the code as to how I made it out. And that's like, yo, that's so fucked up. Like, why is it that you get to, you know, make it out? Yeah, you made it out. You worked hard. Like, why is it that you don't help anybody else at?
You want somebody else to, and we understand, and that comes with our culture, our feeling of we did something. It's the feeling of being complete. What I call it, and this is what I call it. And for anybody listening, I'm gonna turn this kid off so you really tap into this. I call it the test idea. It's the idea that if Yeremy study for this test and he getting 100, and he know he about to get 100, no matter how bad me and Yeremy are homies, you got people that's gonna cover that test a little bit. And it's the reality of like, I put in all that work to get that far. I don't want you to feel like you doing less than me, and you're gonna get as close as I am. And it's just like, sometimes it's not about me cheating off you. Sometimes it's not cheating to the method. Sometimes I just need that extra push to give me that answer, to give me that solution to get to the next step. So I feel like for a lot of people, we don't want to give people those giblets, those extra pieces of just whatever it is to just be like, we can make it.
Yeah, and tapping into like what you was talking about, especially like that extra push that we need. Like, yo, and and you could definitely back this up, bro. When people ask me, yo, what high school did you go to? I don't even bother telling them, cause it was bullshit. It was bullshit, bro. It was a bullshit ass school. I ain't learned nothing. I went to school in the east side, and yo, like I said, Chico, once again, if you watching this, bro, you know what the east side is like. Yo, we went to schools that ain't shit. You know, you understand what I'm saying? Like, and now I look at myself like, yo, like where I'm at now and where I started. And it's like, yo, how the fuck? I be questioning myself, like, yo, why didn't I fall into like, you know, the statistic, like, and we have many people that we grew up with, like, yo, they ain't doing nothing with their lives.
Bro, half of the people I grew up with around here, and you can attest to this, you got the young boys that you see every day on the block, the people you grew up with, and I'm the only one that went to college. The only
and graduated.
And graduated.
Not only did you go, you graduated.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm the only one that went to college and graduated. We're gonna make that clear. And I don't want to, and this is no shade towards anybody that didn't do.
Real quick too, and
oh yeah, go ahead.
for a lot of young folks right now in high school, don't be scared to leave the hood to go to school in New York, Jersey, Boston. Bro, the hood always gonna be here, brother. It's not gonna move. Like, you feel me? Like, you go to, a lot of times you go to school, you come back, you see the same niggas on the block. Like, the block is not going anywhere, bro. Leave the state, bro. Go play ball somewhere, bro. Go be a producer. Go study something somewhere else, bro. You don't have to stay in the hood, bro.
But that goes with, that ties into my point of comfort, bro. How do you feel? Do you think it's more so, and that's a question, do you think it's more so a thing where I'm afraid to leave?
Yeah.
Because of the actual fear of taking that leap of faith? Or it's the feeling of, I'm comfortable here, so I'm going to stay here because I'm comfortable here?
I think it's a little, I feel like it's
or I'm
more.
going to come back because I'm comfortable here.
I feel like it's more like, yo, Yauza, don't leave the state to go to school. Stay in the hood, stay here, like, or go to school close to home.
Right.
But I leave and I don't do good. I come back. What everybody in the hood gonna say? I told this nigga not to leave.
Right.
I told him he was gonna fail. I've been down that road. But it's not, it don't always gotta be like that. And like you said, bro, you're the only one that went to school and graduated.
Right.
You could be the first one in your hood to change the story, bro. Change the narrative of how your people think.
Right.
That's how you gotta think about it. You gotta take that shot.
Yeah, and I feel like some people get like way too comfortable. Like some people have gotten way too comfortable, like living where they living. And it's like, yo, and I'm glad, like, guess what? I went to an ancient school, I ain't gonna lie, Albright College. Let's not even talk about it. But one thing I could say, like, yo, that definitely changed like my perspective. That definitely changed my narrative into like where I come from. Like, yo, like you get to school and like a lot of people already had cars. A lot of people talking about, yeah, like, you know, I came in with this amount of credits, and I'm like, yo, I ain't have none of that.
Right.
My school ain't all for none of that. Like, none of that.
all.
Yo, yeah, and
At
I got
all.
a full scholarship. This is, and I'm like, damn. Like, how the fuck did you get that?
Right.
Like, and I'm not saying that because it's like, you know, I'm trying to hate on anybody else, but that just really taught me, like, yo, I really didn't come from nothing. Like everything I grew up with was nothing. Like, it wasn't similar as to what, like, a lot of people that went to school with me, like, what their reality was. Like, a lot of them had all these, like, resources. Like, and that's a big thing, too. Like, when you go to school, you realize how much resources you don't have.
Bro. We used to carry around. Anybody that went to mastery know this. And I didn't even know this was a poverty thing. I thought we was privileged in doing this. We used to have a laptop cart that went around to the entire school.
We had those at home.
Bro.
Facts.
A cart with like 30 laptops that the entire school had to share. And mind you, I went to a small high school, so it wasn't really that bad. But it was still, you still got 500 and some kids that got to share a laptop cart.
Yeah.
When you got schools 10 minutes down the road, every student get a laptop.
Every student.
Thank you for enrolling.
And yo, upon enrollment, actually before, you know what, you gotta accept it. Oh yeah, your laptop is on the way. Your resources is on the way. Your books is on the way. Guess what? You get your own book. Not only do you get your own book, you can take it home.
Yeah. You ain't even got to stay here. You ain't got to put it back in the cart to
You
charge.
ain't gotta give it.
Right. Cause you know in the hood, your teacher checking that shit. Oh, you put that back?
Where number 24 at?
Yeah, facts.
Computer number 20.
Right.
Yo,
Who signed out?
yo. When the teacher tapped you on your shoulder, yo, sign out for me real quick. You knew he was fucked, but like, nah, it was like Anthony said, yo, we had these little ass carts with 25, 30 computers. How many kids do you have at the school? You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, how are we giving these resources to 300, 400 kids? Yeah, we only have 30.
Right.
We have, what is that, 10%? That's 10% of resources amounted to like the entire school. Like, how is it that we supposed to succeed? And like with being successful in like this society, like we are not given these tools that we are needed in order to actually not even be above everybody else, but we're not even meeting the criteria.
We get no advantage.
We
get no advantage, and that's what it sometimes it boils down to for certain people. And this is not a thing of privilege or certain things like that, because another way you can look at privilege is your advantage.
Yeah.
And that's the negative positive way to look at it. See, it becomes privilege when it doesn't feel like it's worked upon.
Yeah.
It becomes an advantage when it feels like you understand the work that needs to be done for you to turn that into something that you can use.
Yeah, that's fun.
And so the thing is just like a lot of these situations, from us having the ability to get those resources now, it becomes our advantage because we understand the work that needed to be done when we didn't have it.
It's a fact.
So, and I tell people all the time, I think of it like art. You got people that can't draw to save their life if you give them a pencil.
Me?
You put them on a computer, give them a little pencil from the tablet or something.
Oh yeah.
It's people that could put a crazy image together on the computer but can't draw to save their life, which is no knock against anybody. But if you know how to draw with that pencil, you now, when you get to that next stage, you have the advantage.
Yeah, that's a fact.
It was a privilege, but now you have the advantage. So it's all about what I said, and it's with certain stuff how we look at anything. It's always about how you look at it, the strategy behind how you look at it, and being able to work with what you got. You talking to 3, and this is something we didn't even say in the beginning. And we D3 athletes.
Yeah.
Khalid, we're not even gonna say D3. We're not even gonna put that part out there because what people don't realize is that what does that even mean to people?
Yeah.
That in itself is a meaning of resource and opportunity. We went D3 because there was a lack of resource and opportunity for us to go D2, for us to go D1.
D1, yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like we still collegiate athletes. If anything, we got to put in 10 times more work than everybody else because those resources weren't there. Like, and I'm coming from a state of rugby, from a club where we had to do it ourselves with no NCAA help. So you know what I'm saying? So that mindset is going to be different because it's like, once I get that advantage of joining an actual rugby team that has everything, oh, that work that I put in before, oh, I'm going crazy.
Now you going double.
Going crazy.
You going double. And yeah, like, when like he said, like, you know, our school is like D3 and this and that, bro. That shit felt like what? Intramural.
Yeah.
That's exactly like what it felt like. And then you look at a lot of these kids that, yo, you could like not even hate on some kids. Like you could look at some kids and it's like, yo, like you're fucking garbage. Like how the fuck did you go D2, D1? And it's like, yo, a lot of these kids had their parents pay their way right into the schools. Like yo, and I was part of this, like especially when I was in middle school, high school, like I was part of this like little soccer team that it was all white kids, bro. And yo, this gave me a new perspective on how poor I was, bro. My parents weren't able to come to any of my games, any of them. Now all these white kids, they had their parents pick them up in Range Rovers. They had parents like on the sideline. Guess what? Them parents, they knew their kids was garbage, but they had that money to put up each month. Every single month, they was putting $500, $600 just for their kids to be on that team, just to have their kids feel like, they achieved something. Making their kids feel like they successful. Now, when you one of the few, like what? It was like 2 or 3 of us black kids on that whole team. All of us, we took the train together. Right back home, bro.
Yeah.
Together from every single game. We was the only kids that was on that train. While all the other kids, all the white kids, they had their parents here. They had their parents bring snacks, pizza parties. Even after we lost, their parents was like, don't worry about that. Cause guess what, they going back home to these mansions. They're going back home
cooler.
It was nothing to them. Like, so they were given this like big advantage, and especially in life, this outlook that no matter what, they're gonna succeed.
But what's crazy about that? That goes into why, and this isn't not even a white or black thing, because there are communities where black people are going to have money, they're going to have those resources to give to their kids. But that's why success comes out of that. Because if I'm coming from a young age and I'm already in the mindset of no matter how hard I fall, I'm gonna get back up.
You're gonna get back. It don't matter.
I'm gonna be standing. That mindset is gonna carry me to do everything in life and not walk worrisome. Like the way you just said that, you didn't even peep how you just said that, and that just flowed into why that success comes. Because in the hood, once we fall, it's laughter, it's hate, it's an embarrassment. So we worry too much about falling to the point where we fall all the time. It's like with sports. Like I tell you, like us being athletes, we already know the quickest way to get injured is when you think you're about to get injured.
And then somebody hits you.
And you're so worried about getting hurt, you get hurt. That moment where you just out there not worried about nothing, you like all the plays come to you, like everything just happen organically. Great stuff happens.
And it's not just what Ann said about being white or black. It's just, bro, if you know when your parents or your grandparents pass away that shit, they're gonna leave a ton of money for you, then you're not thinking about failing. Like you feel, your life is basically set.
That pain in that moment is gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt.
Facts.
But there's some realities that people face where it's like, and this is what I tell people all the time: pain is temporary. The pain is temporary. Once you get hurt, it's temporary. You break something, it's temporary. Now things can have long-term effects, but that also is you being in control, and that's another thing that I kind of want to transition to that we talk about is what is your perception of control? Because the way that I look at it is I tell people all the time, make the best out of what you can control, but control the atmosphere of what you can't. So it's more so about, as people, no matter how bad, no matter how deep you are in faith, how bad you may believe something is the case, at the end of the day, the perception of either God has me or I have me comes down to control. And what you put yourself in and how well that you control a situation is up to you.
Especially like controlling like your atmosphere. That comes a lot with like, and you could definitely back me up on this. Like, we blame a lot of people for shit we don't have. We blame everybody else for shit like we couldn't get done. Oh, and I would have got done this and that if I would have, or somebody else would have did this and that. What did you do though? Like, why didn't you get it done on your own? Why is it that you need somebody else to back you up? Or why is it that you need this and that in order for you to get something done? Like, especially that comes with like a big mindset. Like, you gotta have a lot of like discipline as well. Like, you constantly blame somebody else like throughout your life. Like, I don't got this and that because so and so said this and that. It's like you constantly gonna lose. You set yourself up like for failing. Not only do you have this environment that has set up for you to fail, you fell into that cycle, and you set up this mindset for yourself that you're gonna fail. So guess what? You're gonna fail.
This goes a little bit off, but like I think people sometimes forget that, bro. Rich or not, we all gonna end up in the same spot, bro. We all gonna die.
6 feet.
Okay.
So like,
It's a scary thing.
yeah, it is.
It's a scary
It is. But it's true. Like we all gonna die at some point.
Right.
You just gotta make the best out of it and live your life. Like, you feel me? You can't let other people hold you back or hold yourself back. You know, like, but like, that's life, bro.
Yeah. and it's crazy because I actually, to wrap this up in the final couple minutes that we had, that's something that is crazy that you touched on that, and that just so happened to organically come together. But about the whole concept of life and death and that whole thing, it's just one of those things where it's like, why are we the only species that is afraid to die? And it's like, that fear that we have, and I don't want to get too crazy. We can touch on the whole religious aspect of that later, because that's a whole religious thought. But if Zeus gets hurt, Zeus doesn't know what's about to happen now. If I'm falling down the steps right now, the first thing that's in my head is, dang, thank God I didn't die. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you go hunting, you shoot a deer. You shot the deer. The deer is not sitting there like, I got shot, I'm about to die. And his mind is, I'm hurt. So in our perception of what we do, I think the whole underlying meaning of everything we was talking about in this first episode is the concept of success and failure, of happiness and fear. The ending part, and I think the big stimulation to a lot of human fear, to conclude, and I want to get y'all final thoughts on this before we wrap this up, is, do you think death is at the forefront of a lot of the fear that we have? Because it's not more so the fact that I didn't start this business because I'm gonna die. I didn't move this way because I'm gonna die. It's the fact that when I do die, what is my legacy gonna be? What y'all think about that?
Yeah, I definitely do think, like, especially like for some people, like when you think about like death and stuff like that, it's like, yo, they really sit there and like in that few moments and they're like, yo, what is it that I did with my life? And then they realize they either didn't do anything or they didn't do enough, you know, throughout their life. So then they start thinking, like, in that one moment, like, yo, I'm really about to die, but I didn't do shit my whole life.
Right.
I ain't do anything. So I feel like that's why, like, people become afraid of that. And it's like, for me, it's like, yo, once I get my mother a house, once I make sure she don't gotta work no more, bro, I ain't scared to go back. If I die, I die.
And what about you, Yauza?
I think it's more of, I feel like, what can I leave here for the next generation?
Okay.
Like, not just the next generation, but like my family, my kids, if I have kids in the future. What can I leave for them? Like a map of, this is something you could do to like succeed or like make your dreams come true.
Right.
Like, break the cycle. Don't continue the cycle. Break the cycle. Break that mentality. And don't be afraid. We here to fail. Like,
It's going to happen.
it's going to happen.
And with that being said, that's a wrap up of the first episode of Cut to the Chat podcast. Yeremy, Yauza, and the Barber. You already know what it is. Anything y'all want to say before we end it?
Yo,
Stay safe, man.
get
Stay
money, you
safe.
heard?
Stay
Feels
safe.
good to win.
Catch y'all. We out of here.
Tryna make my dough flip, 4 ounces of styrofoam, cream soda, pro, and cream on me, lotion, off the city bouncing. Shut the fuck up, pay attention when you see me.
Counting, my total amount is a mountain, ounces, pouring out ounces and ounces, bouncing from county to township, going way out of my way to move.
Keep it low, I been seeing dough up and down Eastern Road. On my own, I was broke, no hunters bust out my clothes. Mama told me I was grown when she see me over the stove. Burnt a hole through the pot, ain't leave nothing inside the bowl. Phone blowing, when I woke up, I smoked one and start my day. By 11, I was pouring out yellow and counting.